I'll spend quite a bit of time at this stage, and I do on every knife I make. But this is where you get the blade nice and flat, and you get all the scratches out from the grinding belt. I'll stay at this grit until I get all evidence of belt grinding out of the knife, and then occasionally I'll just ride up over that sharp shoulder formed by my plunge cut. It only takes a few strokes there just to knock that sharp corner down and get a nice radius. And I'll stay with these diamond files. I have them in various grits, but I'll stay with these diamond files and then move up to 500 grit water dry, and then from there it's just going up the line until about 1500. And then there's some other things I have to do before heat treatment. I have to form the false edge on this, and I file a little sharpening tool right down here just to give a good definite start to the cutting edge. But that's a little ways away. I've got quite a bit of time left on this part, and this is where the quote fit and finish of a knife comes in. And I don't like to leave any machine marks in my knives. A lot of time spent here at the rotary vise. I've been working this blade with this 500 grit wet or dry. After I get the rough stuff done with some files, now I'm alternating back and forth between this finest diamond file and then this 500. What the 500 does at this point is reveal any deeper scratches or defects that I need to go down and get, and I'll go back to this until they go, and then this cleans up the marks that this leaves. There is no layout for this false edge. I just do it by eye, and I rough it in with a larger file, and then when I get it just about to where I want it, I'll take one of these really fine single cut files, and I will draw file it smooth, and then we'll start working with the paper, and I'll finish with just a little radius on the top just to remove any sharp edge. Alright, got the false edge caught up to 500 grit with everything else. So now we'll do the little sharpening tool. I won't show that because it's just a little semicircular notch right there. And I do that over on my bench vise. Put this in some copper jaws and hold it. Okay, this is a 1500 grit finish. And we're ready to go into the furnace with this. I went ahead and made sure that all these holes have a nice chamfer on them, a countersink, so they don't present any problems during the quench. So now the only thing left to do is we're going to get it foil wrapped. First we're going to dust this with some talc, some pure talcum powder, and get it sealed up tight in a foil pack to protect it from the atmosphere. And then we're going to go ahead and get this hardened, and I'll show you this again when we pull it out and go down to the oil for the quench. The reason for the talcum powder is at the high temperatures, 1900 plus, there can occur a welding phenomenon between the heat treating foil, which is stainless, and this steel. And it's a precaution I read about before I ever started heat treating CPM, and I've just done it. Some guys say they never had trouble with that, and some guys says it's happened, and it's a disaster. So let's avoid disasters. So anyway, you'll see the knife again when we're pulling it out of the furnace and into the quench, and then we'll pop it out of the foil, and we'll commence to putting the handles on. But you'll see how clean the knife stays when you foil wrap. The foil prevents the atmosphere from reacting with the hot steel and decarburizing this finish that we put on here. It just leaves a whole lot less work to do on hardened steel versus a nice shiny product going in. It preserves that. While it's in the furnace and going through its heat treatment, I'll be laminating up the handle blanks and getting them ready to go. So for when this comes out and we get it cleaned up from the heat treatment, we'll take this up to about a 2000 grit wet sand finish. That'll be its final finish, and then we'll epoxy the handles on. And I'll prep the pins and show you how I do that, and then we'll just get this knife wrapped up. But hopefully we can get this done in one more video for the knife, and then we'll do a video on sheath making. So we'll be back at the quench.